Take you back now to our breaking news story in Durban, where police spokesperson Colonel Robert Nechunda is about to address the media following the killing of what we understand is now the number increasing there. I think it's 5. Let's take you live there now.
Thank you very much, Bongi. We are just joined by Colonel Robert Nechunda, who will briefly tell us about this incident. Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Briefly, if you can just explain to us the shooting that happened here in the hostel.
Just a few hours ago, we received information about the shootings here at the men's hostel in KwaMashu. And on our arrival here, we found very lifeless bodies with gunshot wounds, and 6 other victims had been transported to a local clinic where one of them succumbed to his gunshot injuries. So we've got all in all 4 people who have been shot dead. Of the 5 who are still in hospital, one of them is very critical.
Do we know any, basically at this point in time, that there's been any arrest, any leads to the arrest?
There has not been any arrest as yet, but we are following several leads because we are told that it's about 20 suspects that we are looking into. And although the motive has not been tightly concluded upon, the ongoing hitmen squabbles could not be ruled out, but our leads will indicate which way to go.
So what could have been the motive for such a shooting where 20 suspects are involved and 4 people dead?
Like I've said, the motive has not been established as yet. But we are following several leads, and we are hopeful that we will crack and find the motive of the killings. But the ongoing hitmen in wars could not be ruled out because our investigators as well as looking into it as well.
Mm-hmm. Have you deployed tactical police to fast-track the investigation, considering the number of suspects?
Yes, the suspects are heavily armed, so we're also having a team that is called to the task. So the members that are following several leads, like I said, are of the level that we will have to I mean, a heavily armed suspect will need equally heavily armed police officers, not because we want to be in a shootout, but because we want to be safe as well as the police officers.
If you could also just remind us, how many people were inside the tavern? You know, what's the state of the area as we see it? And was this actually a tavern?
We are also looking into that. We don't at this stage know what the exact number of those who were inside, because those were shot. They were not shot in one particular place. That's why the bodies here are lying all over the place. There are those who were shot inside one room, others were outside. So it was not a matter of them coming to one place and shoot. I think maybe that's why there were 20 or so suspects. Maybe they knew that their targets were not one place. But yeah, bodies were found lying around the hostel.
Colonel, the other issue is the concern around that this is not the first incident in the area. Over the weekend, there were 2 people who were shot dead. And when we spoke to the councillor was mentioning that it's concerning, and they believe that the KwaMashu police station needs to be beefed up with other members of the SAPS. What is your take in relation to that?
Whenever there is a crime, as police, we are concerned. Whenever one person is shot dead, we get worried because ours is to preserve life. We need to protect our people. And yes, the KwaMashu police station could be overwhelmed, like the councillor has said, but our police are equal to the task. You can look at the vicinity of this area, how unpoliceable it is. It's shakes all over, you can't even move, let alone a car. Yes, we do have cars patrolling the area, but what gets to happen inside here gets to be very difficult for police to be in here. And the surrounding here will need at least 5-6 officers at a go tactically, because it's not so easy to police an area like this one. Like I said, it shakes all over. There are not even ways to move around. So yes, when people are killed as police, we get worried, and every day we sit down and strategize try to come up with means of policing an area like this one, because it's not the first time that we have an incident of murders in a KwaMashu hostel. And we try and police the area the best way we can. But you know that whenever we are planning something else, criminals are planning on their own as well. So yes, the section KwaMashu is doing its best to keep this kind of killings.
So, sir, we've got 20 suspects that are heavily armed that just killed 4 men. What are your message to the people of Durban who might be concerned for their safety right now? The suspects are still at large.
Our message will be that as the police, we are doing our best to trace the suspects. And we expect every resident to trust the police that will crack this case. And as residents, must also try and be safe. I mean, let them try not to walk during the night. That is, if there's no need to be walking around at night, be in their spaces or in the safe spaces, because we're not so sure if these suspects are going to be shooting anybody somewhere. But if they are planning that, we want to catch them before they can execute any of their plans. So residents, let them trust the police. We are doing our best, and we are hopeful that we will crack the case.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time.
Welcome.
That was the case at end, spokesperson Colonel Robert Nechunda confirming that about 20 suspects that they are looking for, because it seems as if 20 men came to this area and shot dead 3. 1 died in hospital. But the police, they are also warning the members of the community that they must not take the law into their own hands. They must try to be basically very safe during this time, because also police, they are trying to track this group of men. Back to you, Bongiwe, in studio.
All right, Bongane, thank you so much for bringing us that. What we know now is that 4 people have been killed, and we do know that now of the 5 remaining in hospital, 1 is said to be in a critical condition. 20 suspects who are believed to be heavily armed are being looked for, and there's about, and we do understand that these people were not killed in one area. According to the police, their bodies were found, some of them lying around the hostels, others were inside. And police saying it's quite a dense area. If you do know that area, you'll know it's quite dense there. Police are saying that it is difficult to police, but they are going to be doing all they can, and they cannot rule out, as they say, they cannot rule out the ongoing hitmen squabbles. They cannot rule them out. They're not saying this is the motive, but they cannot rule them out. And police are now doing their best, as they say, to understand why these people were attacked, who are these 20 suspects who were heavily armed, and how many people exactly were in that particular area. We'll continue to bring you more on our developing story there. Mlondi is standing by watching it, giving us a blow-by-blow account to get us a sense of what exactly happened here, and we'll continue to go back to